Gemini, welcome to your January 2022 reading. We're going to be getting a play-by-play, week-by-week outlook on your month. We're going to be getting advice from Tarot. So stick with me. We'll start with the first week of January, and then we'll go into the second and the third, and so on and so forth. Being the fourth and final week. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. Please consider hitting the like button if this does resonate, if you find it helpful at all. Of course, please consider becoming a member and subscribing. All right, first week out the hatch, 2022 for Gemini. What can they expect? What messages from Tarot do we need to hear for Gemini first week, January 2022? We're only going to be taking cards that fly out. We'll see some occasionally flip, and I just look at those like the footnotes, you know? All right. So far, we got some major arcana out. Interesting. This feels deep. This feels contemplative. This is gathering another perspective. In your head, thinking a lot, possibly feeling pretty tired lately. You know, the Four of Swords symbolizes that place of retreat where one takes a step back, looks at their life or looks at a situation and opens themselves up to this looks very much with a High Priestess card, which symbolizes deep intuition and wisdom, and the Hanging Man card. The Hanging Man card is upside down. So this is ruled by Piscean energy, and it feels like things have slowed down, possibly feeling a little, I don't know about stagnant. For a few of you guys, you might describe it as stagnant, but this is things slowing way down and trying to get perspective on a situation. That could be an overview of your life, where you're going and going into the new year for some of you. And that could be more of a specific situation for others. We'll unpack these cards with a couple of clarifying pretty soon, but let's just get a little bit more of an idea about this first week, January 2022. Yeah, it looks like you're looking at your life. You're looking at sowing your seeds. What's going to play out years from now? What actions and what things are you doing right now that are going to be long lasting, and they're going to have you're going to have the benefit of them having your back, basically. This is money. This is where you invest your time and energy. This connects to inheritance and legacy. So there's some big picture energy here for you in the first week of January. One more card, please, from Tarot, for my Geminis. My sweet, sweet Geminis, always keeping you on your toes. Three of Pentacles. A lot of you guys are thinking about work, collaborations, who you're surrounding yourselves by. I feel like something's not going as fast as you'd like it to go, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You're in a very deep and connective, contemplative place. Let me tell you something about this first week. You are open, even though there might be a little bit of frustration with the slowness at which things are going, possibly in the realm of work and collaboration, or waiting on an investment somehow to come through. Whatever it is, the bottom line is that you are in an open place. To get the Priestess and the Four of Swords together is really special, because you're going to gain perspective going forward. You're going to gain that necessary perspective by opening yourself up to the indescribable, to something deeper. You know, this is where you would get a download, for instance, you know, and I call these downloads, other people might call them something else, epiphanies. This is when you all of a sudden have a realization, or all of a sudden you can solve a problem where you dreamt it, you know. It's a very Einstein moment. So this is where you're open to something else coming through. Really special. Okay, so let's just unpack this Hangman energy real quick. Okay. All right. I'm getting an idea. Why are we getting the Hangman here for Gemini? It wants to come out. So you're sticking by your convictions. There's something, I think, that there's doubters either around you or inside of you. Something having to do with equal give and take, or reciprocity. The Six of Coins, it rules the world of giving and receiving, and the what's the word I'm looking for? Generosity. So this energy has slowed around the realm of generosity and reciprocity. You are sticking by your guns with the 7 of Wands. I think that there's something, convictions you have around. You've been disappointed. So I think somebody's been breadcrumbing you big time, you know, and you're like trying to figure out what to do with this. This is going to be your work for a lot of you guys. Like, are you making enough? Are you being appreciated at work? Is that being, is your value being reflected in your salary, basically? Is it time for a raise? I think you do feel so. With the 7 of Wands, it's suggesting that you really feel that you're worth more, and there's some disappointment attached somehow to this. So what you're doing in the first week of January is just going inside, going inward to figure this out. I wouldn't be surprised if we got the King of Swords or something, because it feels that you're trying to, you're very intentional in this week. So let's get a little bit of advice from tarot. First week of January for my sweet Geminis. All right, it's a brand new deck, guys. It's a brand new deck. Feeling a little klutzy, but the Tower card did fly out upside down, and I will take that as a really great sign. So let's read that as a footnote here. The Tower card, when it goes right side up, is like talking about, whoa, something's out of your control. It's a shakeup. But when it's upside down, it's coming out of a time that was feeling out of control, some incident that shook you up, or you had to move, or you know what I mean, that you felt like your car had jumped the rails and you're just going somewhere you did not plan. Okay, so advice from tarot for my Geminis in regards to the first week of, you've got the card flipping but not flying as 8 of Wands. All right, we're gonna take these like this, one by one. All right. I think that somebody, now if there's like a boss or an entrepreneurial energy of, you know, somebody, a collaborator in this picture, they're not you're realizing they're not exactly who they said they were, or the offer is not as good as they suggested it would be, or that it looked like in the first place. It almost feels like somebody pulling back their offer. Either way, the cards are suggesting that this is not what it appeared to be, and that you should consider, even though you've possibly thrown a lot of energy into this, you should consider, it's a hard choice, but consider greener pastures. So this card, 8 of Cups, is very interesting because it suggests the cups are all something that this individual at one point really poured a lot of energy, time into. And the moon back here symbolizes intuition, and there's almost a sun inside the moon, and the sun is like, let yourself shine, and being in your natural state, and healing and getting your wish, and it's beautiful. And it's so, notice that this individual's back is turned, and it's turned on the cups that he or she at one point, or they had at one point really poured themselves into that. And so they're headed towards greener pastures. Yes, it's unsure. Yes, this person does not know what's behind these mountains and in the valley, but they feel like they'd rather find out than sit here and nurse these cups that are no longer what they once were. So we're getting Ace of Pentacles upside down. We're getting 8 of Cups. We're getting King of Wands upside down. 2 of Swords, which is, it's hard to listen to your intuition. And you know what, you guys, the Tower card just flew out, flew out on my lap, and then in all the while twisting. So let's see how it landed. Here we are. So this is that something shook you up. Something shook you up. And there's a certain amount of, let's get some clarity on this Tower card. There's almost a sense of acceptance that you learned from this experience with a Page of Pentacles. That's a very much a new, fresh possibility energy. And this individual is all about learning and researching and all that. So there's something about this shakeup that allowed you to learn something very valuable. It possibly is, and these had flipped in the deck, the Hierophant, institutions, commitments, with the Wands, Eight of Wands, which is quick communications. Okay, so just getting a little more clarity on the Tower for advice from Tarot for my Geminis. And I think it's the Four of Swords. Again, you are being called to consider fully standing back from this situation, which I think, by the way, congratulations, you're doing great with the High Priestess and the Four of Wands or Four of Swords. You're looking at like, was this really valuable to me in the long run anyway? Did this really hold what I wanted it to hold, which was longevity? And who and what do I want to put and pour my time into in the beginning of 2022? How do I want to kick this off right? Well, that is possibly recognizing what's working and what's not working. And it's a hard choice to make, but Tarot is suggesting you consider leaving this offer that is not at all what it appeared to be for greener pastures, learning from this shakeup. Now, this is a shakeup that you could help induce, which is possibly the leaving part, right? This could be somebody not valuing you, or some person not valuing you, situation that you can learn from, that you're very much later on going to have gratitude for. Because there's a sense of like, at one point there was some denial, and I think you're coming out of some denial. And I don't think you're going to do this recklessly. It's suggesting, like, rather than quickly and recklessly, because sometimes that can be the easy way out, you guys. And you know, Geminis, you guys have got wicked skills with that gift of gab. And you have something witty at the edge of your tongue at any moment, and you'll be tempted to use it. But consider to slowing down that energy. It seems like you're in the right place. Yep, you are all about making something new, something completely new. You're going to start from scratch, thanks to this shakeup. And I don't think anybody's pulling the wool over your eyes, you guys. So I'm going to put these back. We're going to get week 2, okay? This would be a really great month going into 2022 to consider actually logging in a diary or a journal, just kind of like the this already has a feeling to it that is like very what's the word, I want to say sequential, but it already feels like this whole month is kind of in an evolution process, like you're starting from one spot, and I have a feeling that very quickly you're going to move into another by the end of the month. So we'll see what the cards have to say, but just for the sake of getting insight and perspective, because the cards are suggesting that you're in a really great place for doing so. So like when we write things down, especially, you know, with Geminis, there's a real connection with the power and the phenomenon of word, and being able to manifest things into being by giving them words, by giving them language. So anyway, just throwing that out there. All right, second week for my Geminis. Second week, January 2022. Please make it clear. All right. All right. There's our Eight of Wands coming through. This is quick communications, brand new journey. The energy feels really good, you guys. Aha! 2 individuals pop up, the King of Cups and the King of Pentacles. This is a fascinating read. I'm so curious. Feel free to please leave a comment in the description box below, or excuse me, the comment box below. I love hearing from you guys, but also all of these, this is a general reading, so it manifests differently for all of you. This is quick messages coming in. This is most likely text or email. This is the Fool card suggesting that there is something brand new on the horizon for you that you're launching off into the second week of January. Your mind is on your money is on your mind, vice versa with the King of Pentacles. This is an individual who does not fuck around. They know know their money, they know their investments, they have a very mature energy. Sometimes they're an older individual. This is somebody who's either investing in you or collaborating, it feels like. Somebody who's in your world. This could be you, but this is an individual who does not spend much time in their fields. They know how to separate, like black and white. They know how to separate business from pleasure, and they take their business very seriously. They're often wealthy, and they're good with their finances. They can be more calculating, analytical, all that. On the opposite side of the spectrum, we have another individual here. This is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is ruled by their compassion, their heart. They are sensitive, they're connecting, they're emotionally evolved. All right, so this is male, female, they, whatever. But these are the energies. One more, please, for my Geminis. Thank you. Coming out of disappointment, you guys, we got 5 of Cups upside down. Yay. It was like that in your first reading. You were kind of coming to terms with the disappointment in regards to reciprocity, being valued for what you have to offer. Well, you're coming out of it. I'd like to get some clarity on these 2 individuals. First, the King of Pentacles, please, for my Geminis. Thank you. Ooh, Queen of Wands. Is this a couple? Queen of Wands is very aware, male, female, anybody in between, but very aware of how they appear. This feels like, now if this is a couple, this is a pretty good looking couple. This is a power couple. They're well off. There might be a little shallowness with the Queen of Wands. They are definitely aware of how they appear. They appear very confident, a connector. When they walk in a room, people know they're there. They have a lot of confidence. They oftentimes, even when they're feeling insecure, they can put on a very confident facade. Okay. One more for the King of Pentacles, please. And we've got, again, the Page of Pentacles. So this is research, learning. This is a fresh energy. Let's fill this picture out a little bit more by getting some clarity on the King of Cups. Who is this King of Cups for our Gemini? Knight of Cups. We've got some people in your world. I'm wondering if some of you guys are collaborating on a new project, if you guys are reaching out towards a team, or if this is family, because we have a young, this energy is very similar to that of the King of Cups, but it's a youthful energy. It's it's romantic, it's romantically minded. This individual is a little bit naive possibly in that realm, so they can, and if it was a love romance reading, they'd be sweeping you off your feet. That musician or artist that you just get carried away with. They're oftentimes creative. It's a slightly more immature, definitely a more immature energy than the King of Cups, but they're similar energies. Now we've got the reciprocity card right side up. So there's a balancing between these 2 individuals. They're seeing eye to eye. They're valuing each other. These 2 people see what they have in common. All of a sudden we're getting pentacles between these 2 people. One sees the other as work that they've put in, and it's worth it. It's coming back to the work they put into this is coming back to benefit them. And they're at this point of like, all right, so do we want to move further into this collaboration or this relationship? And what does that look like? Look, like this is the pause, sowing their seeds, taking a pause, recapping and looking at all the work they've done. And going forward, the funny thing about the 7 of Pentacles is that there's a hidden choice in there. And sometimes people don't often mention this about the 7 of Pentacles, is that what the 7 of Pentacles doesn't say outright is that there's a hidden choice. This has taken work. This has taken a lot of work. And the rest is at that point, let's say on a hike, let's just say all of you guys hike, and you're up a very difficult trek. The switchbacks have been intense, and there's this beautiful bench, and you decide you're going to take a break, and you sit down at that bench and you look up the trail, and there's more switchbacks, but there's a beautiful view at the top. And you look down at the trail, the switchbacks and the trail that you've already traveled, and you could easily turn around. You put in a good trek and your car is not too far away and it's all downhill. What choice do you make? So there is a hidden choice with the Seven of Pentacles, sowing one's seeds. But the beautiful thing about that is it's paired with Six of Pentacles, this moment of reciprocity, this there's an equalizer, the great equalizer. This is energy of, and then there's a sense of learning from these other two individuals, these powerhouses over here. Let's get a little bit. I think I'm gonna open a new deck actually, because we've used so much clarity on the second week of January. What's this Fool, this new journey for my Geminis? More Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, you guys. This is 3 already. We haven't even made it totally halfway through the month. So already this month is looking like there's gonna be a turning point. There's gonna be a great reckoning in the first week. And then it's like the energy picks up. You go from a very slow contemplative place of acceptance and moving forward, leaving something behind, and then boom, the energy starts picking up. You've got more individuals in your life, in your world. There's more communication, back and forth texts or emails. There's something new, very new on the horizon that you're a bit of a novice at. There's something you've got a learning curve ahead of you, and you're no dummy. You're actually grabbing hold of it, and you're really in an open place thanks to that contemplative Four of Swords, High Priestess energy at the beginning of the month, and who knows, possibly right now. You are right now making the environment for the learning curve you're going to have later in this month, and you're going to be so ready for it. You're right out the hatch, like running for the finish line. So this is looking very exciting. You're willing to learn. You're doing research. You're possibly meeting people. Let's see what this card is. The World in reverse. Let's get a little more clarity on that. Judgment in reverse. Interesting. King of Pentacles pops up again, this time upside down. Give me a moment. Clarity on the World. Wow. What's up, you guys? All the Beige Arcana is coming up upside down. Let's see. Nope. These, I start with these all right side up. Page of Cups is at the bottom of the deck upside down as well. Everything is right side up. Moon, Queen of Wands. One moment. I'm like going to go through here real quick and make sure it's right side up. There were a couple that weren't, and I don't know why. Because I go through these right before your reading, and this happens once in a while where, okay, Judgment. Give me some clarity for Judgment. Get another Major Arcana, and that fell on its side like this, and we take that, of course, upside down because we pull it the way it's. I have a feeling, okay, you guys, bear with me here. Bottom of the, okay, yep. High Priestess energy at the bottom of the deck. This is you've really tapped in. I don't know what happened to you guys in the last few weeks of December. The first week of January seems like you were contemplative for a reason. You went inward, listening to your deeper wisdom, asking your guides, maybe reaching into your faith systems. But you recognize that something you were doing was not working. And you're realizing in the second week of January in the year 2022, there's this, you're grateful for the new start, but you want to do this very differently. And that's one of the reasons why you're so open and willing to research. And it's what I think about is that saying, you don't know what you don't know. So that's what you're trying to do, is fill in the gaps, because you recognize that there is a resistance within you to change. I think there was a resistance having to do with that King of Pentacles energy, but it's upside down. So it's like you could have made better decisions, and you are looking at all those ways. You're trying to figure out how you do it this time differently. And what's beautiful about it is that there's not a defensive energy necessarily. It's just, there is a little bit of confusion. So you're contemplative, you're trying to do this right. And I think you're willing to learn from those who have been doing this right for a while. Like this feels like they're your guides almost. There's a little bit of authority here with, yep. And now we take that upright, flew out like this. Yep, you're starting totally new, and you cannot, the way you're, it's like the success of our next project or the success of our next relationship is really contingent on how we buttoned up the past one. So you're trying to do this by keeping an open mind, and I think that's beautiful. Clarity on the Eight of Wands. Whoa. Now they're all coming up upright. So I just, before we go into this, I want to close that up. Is like, when we're looking at the Judgment upside down, the World upside down, the Temperance upside down, and the Strength upside down, you're recognizing at one point there was the desire, the procrastination in closing a chapter and allowing yourself to move forward. All this feels in the past. You are recognizing the frustration and lack of patience in an area that was unmoving. So it's kind of like at one point you were trying to force against the current, and you finally left it in the first week of January, and all of a sudden things start flowing again. So you're kind of reflecting on that, and you knew hindsight's 2020. So you're really able to see what wasn't working in those last week, last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe year. And it's giving you now a very clean slate and reference as to where you need to expand, what you need to learn in this new journey. Okay? All right, now I can move on. Eight of Wands, quick messages coming through, lots of communication. We've got King of Swords, there he is. I knew he'd come out eventually. This is problem solving. And we've got the Empress, which is beautiful energy. It's not always an entity the way that court cards are. Sometimes it's very much birthing something, bringing something into light. She's the only pregnant card in the deck, and the pregnancy is symbolizing something in its gestation form, something really, this feels like conversations regarding creating the next venture, creating something new. Doing it right, guys. Doing it right. Six of Cups. I feel like people, this is the nostalgia card. I feel like you're getting possibly advice from people you know, connecting with people you know. I mean, it is the holidays, there's that, but this doesn't feel, there's our Page of Cups, right side up, the way we like them. Page of Cups is magical energy. This is like, it feels like a relationship possibly coming through, talking to somebody that knows you, maybe like an old classmate, old coworker, comes out of the dark with an offer or some ideas, energy that is really feels exciting, and basically kind of at the heart of it, solving a problem with the King of Swords. They're helping you kind of get down to the bottom of something. No more waiting for something. This might be somebody that you didn't realize you were even waiting on, or you know, a feeling that you didn't even realize you were waiting on. There, now you can move on. So you don't have to sit there in stagnation any longer. This releases you. This is really clearing things out. So this is, let me recap. Communications coming in the second week of January 2022 that somehow kind of solves a problem and refreshes the energy back into inspiration. This is from somebody that you know, that you're, it could be a mother for a lot of you guys. The Empress energy is mother, it's pregnancies. Just got to throw that out there. And there's no longer a stagnation there. Yeah, I think you feel better being solo, possibly making future investments, saving your money. It's all very random to me, but you guys, I hope it resonates with you. All right, so let's get some advice from the deck about the second week. We got so into this unfoldment of what's going on. So now it's time putting them all upright, right? Because we take them, we read them in reverse if they fly out that way. But we're all giving them a fair chance by putting them upright. And then I just consider that the cards are speaking to us. If they have to make the effort to fly around, you know, in midair, collaborate with gravity. Okay. Fingers aren't collaborating as well. Let's just do one more. All right, so advice for our Gemini, second week of January 2022. Please make it clear, Spirit. All right, what do you have to tell them about this new journey? The messages coming through all these individuals. Please make it clear for Gemini. All right, sowing one's seeds, coming out of conflict. Nice. Advice. This is your green light, it feels like. King of Cups. Here's our King of Cups again. What is Tarot saying about King of Cups? Please unpack King of Cups for us. Thank you. A choice is made regarding the King of Cups. All right. Unpack the King of Cups for me. This Two of Swords. These are very slippery. Please be patient with me. Thank you. Okay, we'll come back to that. Advice from Tarot for second week of January. Thank you. Unpack Three of Wands, please, for me. Thank you. Emperor. I feel like I need to take that. And this flew out. Beautiful. King of Cups. King of Cups is definitely somebody you know. This is a choice that you are going to make. I do feel that you have hope with this individual. You want it to turn out good because there's history. You're being beckoned towards this fresh offer, this relationship. This is Ace of Cups is a beginning. It's an offer of love. It's an offer of compassion and passion. It's a new beginning. It's a fresh start. That's coming through very strong in your reading. Seven of Pentacles is definitely taking a look at all the work you've put into something, coming out of conflict with the Seven of Swords. Beautiful. Flying or flipping is Temperance. Temperance is patience, healing, rebalancing. You can't change somebody. This feels like accepting that you cannot change somebody. And so you don't have hope that this person is going to change, and that is a major reckoning as well. But what is this new start energy? And we'll get to this eventually, you guys. So acceptance that, and we are spending a lot of time with our families for sure, and in doing so, you know, old triggers, things pop up. Some of you guys, this will be somebody more in the business realm. Some of you, it will be in family. It feels that you're making the choice to raise the bar. I think that you take charge. You stop waiting around for your ships to come in. Stop waiting for change. And you realize that all that glitters is not gold. And you can come out of conflict without compromising your beliefs. You can come out of conflict knowing that this person will never change and taking the high road and not compromising. There is an in-between, guys. You know, you don't have to come out of conflict. And I know you guys know this, but I'm just going to say, one does not have to come out of conflict by bending over. I'm sorry, guys. That's the only thing that popped in my head. But and go with it. But you don't have to compromise. You can recognize the gray area in relationships. And this is the recognition that there is gray area, and you can do this your way. Because what you're holding out for and what your ideal is that I love calling this the twin flame card, but it's not always just romantic. It's also, it works across the board towards business partners, towards friendship. This is equal give and take. This is equal compromise. This is the Two of Cups. It's being recognized for what you have to value and valuing somebody else, recognizing that. So you are taking control of this. And some of you guys will actually take control, like less is more, by being quiet, actually. You know, not taking part in the argument. Just kind of, it's beyond, it's not even passive. It's more like you're above it. Yeah, this is how you're going to get a new start. This is how you're starting fresh, is that you're raising the bar. What do you want to put your time and energy into? You can observe that there's triggers, that this person is a certain way. You're never going to change them, but what can you have on your terms? Okay. So that's what the cards seem to be saying about the second week of January. We're going to go into the third week of January. 2022, kicking it off the right way. All right, starting with those contemplative cards, the Four of Swords, and here we are. So, third week of January, please make it clear, Spirit. Our Geminis. Oink, oink. It's better when you put sound effects to it. All right. Third week of January. Third week of January for my Geminis, 2022. Third week of January for my Geminis, 2022. You, Spirit. What can they expect? All right. Shooting out. Whoa. Okay. It's funny. You can read a lot about the cards just by how they come out of the deck. Sometimes they're withholding and they don't want to come out. Sometimes this wants to be up here. Okay. Well, there's some interesting action in the third week of January. I'm going to get some clarity on these before I start yapping. But we're starting it off with Temperance. I will say that. This is a transformative week, guys. This is a very transformative week. I'm going to actually put this in the spread. It ends well. It reminds me of that old saying about March, actually, you know, comes in like a lion, out like a lamb. I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say yeah, I would say it's like comes in like a lamb, the middle is a lion, out like a lamb. All right, death card. Where are we getting the death card? There's a choice here. All right. Something's a phase, a relationship is, it's time for it to transform. It's time for it to, there's a decision made around this relationship. I feel that this is somebody possibly manipulative in your life, emotionally manipulative. And I think that you are making a decision to let this go. Four of Cups in reverse. Why are we getting Four of Cups in reverse? That belongs here. Yeah. You're exhausted. I think that you recognize you're a little more mature. You're also, there's another individual here that is like nurturing, giving, hardworking. And there's been a little bit of apathy lately, disinterest, I think, in an offer because it's exhausting. It's there's a defensive energy around it. And so Lovers, Gemini energy comes out with the Lovers card here. All right. Why are we getting the Tower card? The Moon. I think something hit, I think something came out and was rattling, shook one up, shook a person up, shook you up, shook somebody else up. It was hidden. It was like really unexpected. This doesn't always mean a bad thing, you guys. When the Tower comes out, yep, World card comes out. This is awesome. It's an end of a phase. This phase needed to end. It needed to end, and something comes out from the dark, shakes everything up. When this happens, it's actually very good. It puts you back on the right path in your life, whether this is in reference to relationships or moving. Like sometimes this is just a move, like all of a sudden you have to move. You know what I mean? But this feels very necessary. And it's, I'm flipping but not flying as the Ace of, I believe that there's a hidden offer behind it. So don't let it scare you. But this is transformative. This is, the whole week is very, very transformative. We've got our 10 of Pentacles. So this change is going to change the rest of your life in a way. 9 of Swords. Let's open our next deck. I can tell this is a big reading. Whoa. But I opened it up and there was the Death card. All right. And then of course we got Page of Pentacles. I think that this inspires you. This pushes you, you know, even harder. And not in a bad way. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, or excuse me, 9 of Swords, 9 of Swords. All right. There's an independent energy. There's some anxiety, some in your head, thinking, ruminating, analyzing about a commitment, something that you had your faith in. Your reality was shattered a little bit with something hidden here. It kind of quickly ends a phase. It ends something that at one point was long-term. It looks like it could be very much a relationship. For some of you guys, maybe it could be a romantic relationship. For some of you guys, it feels like it could even be a family dynamic to it. But, you know, I think that there's something undeniable about the 7 of Swords. There's a sense of deception. Flipping again is Ace of Wands, but it did not fly out. There's a foolishness attached to this, a naivety to this deception. Yep, so that's 2 wheels, excuse me, 1 wheel. This is, I feel like this is, for some of you guys, this is very karmic for all of you. This is very karmic. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. We learn from these things. They're all meant to be. You're going to be just fine. There's a little bit of anxiety about possibly being single or being solo. I think that there was a deep attachment to this person, whether it was a family member or a lover, but there's no doubt that this person, I think there would be deception again. Like this, I think that one, you can't pull the wool over your eyes. We've got a lot of people here. I think that you guys are taking, I think there's some conflict in this week. And I think you might be even pulling back an offer, or for the sake of saving your relationships, for the sake of starting fresh and having a powerful move forward in the realm of relationships, or an offer coming in, you are turning something else down. Something else is going away. Yeah, I think you're overwhelmed by this. There's a sense of conflict and competition. Yeah, and my Lord. I feel like you're not taking the bait. I feel like you are still trying to stick to that high road. There's definitely a realization, a shake up here in the third week. And you stay on your path. You know, I think there's the Star card is a beautiful, beautiful card, because, you know, in the sequential line of tarot, there's a story to tarot, right? The Fool starts the journey, Fool's journey. And when you get to the Tower card, which is that shake up, that thing that totally sets you on a different path that you didn't expect, that you have no control over, all you can control is your reaction to it, okay? The card that follows that in the Fool's journey is the Star. And you end, it's like amazing. You start this whole week on the third week of January, you start it with the Temperance, which is this rebalancing. It's trying to find balance. Yeah, working, the work card with the Temperance card. And then you have this middle point during the week where it's like, okay, something kind of comes out of the dark, switches things out around a little. Have you been, you know, beating upstream? Have you been turning your wheels for nothing, you know, in the beginning, and trying to have a new start, something fresh, being confident, trying to even fake some of that confidence sometimes. And then it comes out in this beautiful Star card energy, which is get your wish. It's hope and prayer. It's being recognized for who you are. You're cutting somebody out, it looks like, with the Queen of Swords, you know. This is returning back to power, finding your power again, and cutting something out. All right, so that was a huge layout. We're gonna grab a new deck and we're gonna ask advice from tarot. Gemini 2022. Let's just do another shake up here. All right, and I'll say, if this is resonating, you guys, thank you so much for hitting the like button. It makes all the difference in the world, because it just kicks it up in the algorithm, so all your Gemini kin can get these messages too. All right, so please tell me a little bit more about what can Gemini do in this week. What can Gemini do in this week? I'm thinking week. You're getting a lot of Three of Wands. So there's patience attached to Three of Wands. There's a sense of waiting for your ships to come in. This is a sense of a journey's about to start, but it's like that revving up mode, like getting things together, waiting for somebody possibly. We've got collaborative energy of the Three of Pentacles flying out. We've got, again, our Page of Pentacles. This month is all about learning, keeping an open mind. You know, I feel like you're... okay, we've got Pentacles and Wands. Pentacles and Wands. This is fiery movement forward. This is, you know, considering your value. Okay, finding your harmony with those that work with you. You might be coming out of a union somehow that you thought had long-term gains, and this is attached to an institution. It could be a marriage, it could be a belief system that does extend a family for some of you guys. This is like leaving a sense of, you know, it might be a little unorthodox, but leaving stability as you knew it not very long ago. You knew it to be a different thing. Collaborative energy of the Three of Pentacles. Why are we getting that? You'd rather be out on your own than compromise for this group of people. You're getting a lot of people in your reading, you guys. It's hard to say this extends only to one person. It feels like it extends to family. It feels that it is bigger than that. You are starting new. 2022, this is all about fresh energy and not compromising. Doing what's right. This belongs here. We got the Justice card, Libra energy coming out with Magician again. You've got the Magician and that Page of Pentacles over and over again. So the Tarot is saying, recognize that you don't have to be stuck in this collaborative energy. This is either people you work with, or usually it's at work. Sometimes it can be kind of friends and stuff, but you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to compromise on your convictions. You can, you know, and if that costs you by leaving or by being left behind in this conflict, this competition, conflicting energy, that might happen. But then we immediately have this new journey beginning and waiting for something to begin. You're just waiting for those signals. You've already got what it takes. Yep, you're going to be leaving happily. You don't need that in your life, especially not starting out the new year. So you have all this fresh energy, the willingness, the inspiration and spark, starting for a new journey, a new definition of what stability looks like. Being willing to, because what you are inspired by is what feels fair. And you really have experience in compromise and what does not feel fair, what feels manipulative, what feels pushy, and nope, you're not into it. So you're building you're building a whole new sense of stability. Knight of Wands, fiery energy. Going forward, fiery energy. All right, you guys, that feels really good for the third week of January. We're gonna do your last and final week of January. Let's see how this turns out. Okay. So I do tarot readings. Just simply open the description box below, and my email is there. Let's go with this. We have 3 decks out. Please bear with me while I collect these. Yeah, so if you send me an email, we talk pricing. I have 3 tiers for pricing. And then basically we go from there. It's a Venmo situation. Not Venmo, excuse me, PayPal. All right, so, and I can make a video. That's typically how I do it, so that you can revisit that video anytime you want. I leave it up for about a month, and it's your private link. Nobody else has access to that. And it's really insightful when you can go back and revisit the video, and I find those are much more helpful than live readings. All right, so for the last week of January for my Geminis, last week of Gemini. last week of Gemini. Last week of January. Gemini is 2022. Last week of January. Okay, what can we expect? Please make it clear, Spirit. Okay, Two of Cups. Beautiful card to start out with. This is equal give and take. This is that twin flame energy. Last week of Gemini. Last week of... Keep on saying that. Oh, this is slow messenger. Slowly coming in. Beautiful with the Knight of Pentacles. Energy is slower. It's more careful. Judgment. Beautiful. Judgment card. Life is different after this month, guys. Life is different. For sure. Everything happens for a reason. Flipping in our deck. There's been an offer flipping in our deck. This Ace of Wands the entire time. And I've been noticing it. Underneath all of this is a new chance, a new offer. A reckoning has happened. And we have basically kind of a new you. I'm going to be getting clarity on this Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful energy. There's almost a sense of like relief and wow attached to this for my Geminis. It's being withholding. I love doing it this way, the shuffling, because I listen to the cards. If they're withholding in my hands, if they fly out like crazy, that's a quick message, you know? All right. So we have Two of Cups. This is a twin flame energy. This is a balanced energy between two individuals. That could be romantic and we'll find out, or it could be just between partners, business partners, friendship. We've got Knight of Pentacles, which is a slower energy, somebody who is more tentative, analytical, careful. This is an energy coming in. This is a new energy coming into your life. We've got the Judgment card, which is a real, like, you are transformed, you're changed. This is a big change. Like, 2022, you kick it off in a very different place than you did, for instance, January 2021. We've got Page of Cups, which is bright, youthful, fun, playful, magic. We've got Three of Pentacles, which is collaboration. Let's get a little clarity on that. Yep, there we have it. This is a new job for a lot of you guys coming in. This is a new offer. We've got Two of Wands. I think that you're looking at your skill set differently. It feels like you're taking a look at everything you have to offer. And you did a lot of learning in the previous weeks with all those Page of Pentacles. And you are, you're looking out at the world a little differently. Two of Wands. Two of Wands. You don't have to recreate the wheel. You're seeing that you've come far, and you are going to be making some swift, decisive energy, it feels like, you know, in this last week. Let's start putting this together into a storyline. I want to find out a little bit more from these cards. Victory, wow, Judgment. You know, you had a lot of Seven of Wands before in the previous weeks, and this was standing by your convictions, not being willing to compromise in certain ways, taking the risk of being pushed out of a group for your convictions and your beliefs. And this new bar, you'd raised the bar for yourself. And it felt at times that you paid a price almost, you know what I mean? Like it was not for the faint-hearted, but you have major victory in this area, this change, you transformed your life. You're coming out of a place that you were exhausted before. You were tired, you were defensive. I think there was more conflict in the last couple of weeks or months than you felt comfortable with. And so this is now realigning what you're willing to sow your seeds and put your energy and time into. There's almost a sense of gratitude for any frustrations or misalignments, what felt like misalignments earlier in the month, because you're coming out of this looking really good in a very different place. And the Tower has done its job. You know what I mean? Communication with somebody that you had disappointment with. This person felt fake to you. I think that the energy is slow with the Knight of Pentacles. Now I'm unpacking the storyline, right? So the Nine of Pentacles is a slow energy. Feels that it's not just that person that's coming at you slow, but this communication between the two of you. I think that the mutual aspect of this is the disappointment. I think that they're disappointed as well, but I think they're being fake. And they're probably the same ones that you're getting the Seven of Swords out with earlier. So there's at least movement. And I think that the conflict wants to be resolved. But understand that we're all human, right? Be kind to yourself, be kind to the other individual. And know that the reason why this energy is so slow is because it's not easy to make an apology. It's not easy to speak with someone when there's tension. And so this has been a real learning. Again, in every single reading, you get the Page of Pentacles. This has been really a learning opportunity. Why are we getting the Two of Cups? For our Geminis, last week of January, flipping is the Empress. Beautiful energy, looking very desirable to another. Something very new happening. Something very fresh. Oh, this is a fresh relationship, you guys. So it looks like you're getting a little bit of closure, even though it might be a little uncomfortable, a little awkward, but this energy is coming towards you. Somebody who felt at one point pretty fake. They might still be fake, guys. You can't change them. But there is something really beautiful coming through. There's this new, fresh start, this relationship. This is total reciprocity. Feeling really good. Ooh, you might even get married to this person. You know, if for a few of you guys, I think that this is a shakeup in somebody's marriage and it feels that it's going to fall apart. You're actually seriously looking at, oh my God, what does it look like to be solo? Are we going to divide up the property? And there's anxiety around that and stuff. And actually for that few of you guys, it's like you're coming back together. You've done the work. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable, but it's like the day of judgment has passed. You know, you stood by your convictions, and through the month of January, because you knew you didn't want to start 2022 by making a compromise, and it turns out okay. It's a fresh new start. So that's a small portion of you guys. The other portion of you guys, this is somebody that you do come through with communications with them in the 4th week of January, but you're doing this all a very different way. You're not willing to be exhausted or defensive the way that you experienced the last couple of weeks or months in 2021. And you are getting a fresh start in your commitments with a love that is not breadcrumbing you, that is not exhausting you. You are going to feel grateful for this with a 4 of Swords. How beautiful that we're kind of ending the way we began, you know, with a 4 of Swords. You know, you're going to be contemplative. You're going to be really standing back from this. And you're going to realize that you helped manifest this at the very beginning of the month, just by occupying the 4 of Swords energy. When we stand back and we have gratitude, when we are willing to take a bird's eye view of our lives and be honest with ourselves, amazing things happen. Speaking of which, let's go to the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is that magic. It's that magical energy, and it's symbolized with this boy holding up a cup, and inside the cup is this fish jumping out, and that fish is symbolizing anything can happen. And here we have the cards of reciprocity. You guys, I knew that this month was going to be very transformative, which is why at the very beginning of this video, which was over an hour ago, I said, consider taking a journal and buy yourself a fucking beautiful journal. Like, buy yourself a diary with a lock on it that nobody else can ever get into. And consider writing these things down as they play out. because you're going to get massive perspective and insight. And that's one of the reasons why you're getting this Page of Pentacles energy. You are learning from yourself. You're learning from your environment. Look at it like a student, and this month is going to go by in a very sacred fashion, if for the lack of a better way. This is sacred change. This is sacred challenge. Sacred change, sacred challenge. Maybe that should be the title of this video. This is fresh communications coming in. This is like feeling, you're going to finally feel, it's like, oh, it's going to feel like a warm bath. You're going to get the attention from somebody that you have not, that you didn't think you were going to get. You didn't think you were going to get this response. You didn't think you're going to get this reach out. You didn't think you're going to get these emails or texts, these phone calls. It feels good, and I'll tell you why. I think that this energy, this person was breadcrumbing you at one point. And my God, is it a miracle with the Page of Cups? It often is, but your hope and faith and sense of balance is going to be renewed. Again, we've got the Seven of Wands. You were unwilling to compromise again. And I think this person changed and reached out, or possibly realized, oh shoot, Gemini's not there, you know, because I think you've been quiet, you've been in your head, you know, and or just not giving as much as you normally did. It was uncharacteristic of you, but it was you taking charge of your life. And nobody, there's not a person on this planet that can't respect that, my God. All right. So I want to know advice from Tarot for Gemini last week of January, please. For Gemini. I mean, I feel that you coast. There's a lot of reflection in the last week of January, and there's a lot of coming towards you. It's like you reaped your harvest. You know, excuse me, you sowed your harvest. Now you can reap all the results. You've already done the work, especially in the third week of January. It's like, and I know I'm saying the date a lot, you guys. It's just so that we don't lose track or anything. And I'm also kind of saying it to spirit so that I'm always manifesting and calling out for those messages at the time that we need it. Yeah. So you sowed the seeds, now you reap the harvest in the fourth week. So advice. Victory, victory. Yeah, it's just like stand back. Here's victory, here's victory. Stand back and enjoy, you guys. You did the hard work. You did all the crunches, all the sit-ups. Now you can enjoy the high. No, we've got Knight of Cups coming through. This is a messenger that maybe we get the Ace of Swords upside down. Let's get some clarity on that. This collaborative energy keeps on popping through. I think that there was something that you might have wanted to say to a group of people, maybe comrades at work or somebody you're working with. And the card's actually suggesting that you consider actions speak louder than words, okay? And that you don't and I don't think the tarot doesn't want you to communicate necessarily. It's not going to get the healing or the attention that you want. I think you're going to be much happier by not saying something that might be on your mind. Now, this might be like somehow getting closure, you think, or you've got a good intention for yourself with it, but I don't think it's going to feel as good as much as if you just kept your mouth shut. I'm just going to say. Death card. Why are we getting a death card? Letting something go. So a new stage can, letting something go, allowing the stage to totally end, allowing the next thing will happen was that new things will flood your life, new people, but it's going to solve your problems. We're getting the King of Swords, which is this battle-torn, battle-worn energy, just knowing, being more black and white analytical with it. High Priestess. Yeah. I think that listening to your higher intuition, your higher guides, your higher intuition in regards to letting something go, letting an old phase just die, it's going to solve a lot for yourself. We've got this victorious energy and the Knight of Cups. Somebody's coming through. so this was an offer, I think, that Four of Cups flies out. Ooh, you're not going to have to work hard for this. I think you're going to get a couple offers. You're going to be discerning. You're drawing energy to yourself. So this is suggesting don't be discerning with these two energies. One is fiery, one's more compassionate. One is the fiery, confident one is going to be, it's going to, just like a flame, you know, in a match, it could burn out pretty quickly. Now, so if this is resonating to you in a romantic sense, this would be a one-night stand. Somebody who's all confidence and gusto, and then boom, leaves in the morning. And then in the same comparison, the Knight of Cups would be that romantic one, lingers for longer, you know, that could actually possibly blossom into something longer term. But they're both youthful, they're both knights. So if this is work related for you guys, these are general readings, so I try to stay a little bit wider perspective. You know, really be discerning, and this is what's going to guide you. What feels like more work? So you're not willing to put, the cards are telling you as advice for this last week of January, go towards, like, if both of these offers feel like work, then turn them both down. But don't put a lot of work into it. You know, pay attention to that old Nine of Wands that you were getting before, that exhausted energy, you know, that wounded soldier in front of his whole wall of wands. That was a card that you were getting frequently throughout the January month. And you're not going to do that going forward. This is like, you're coasting, man. And to stay in that place of awakening, you aren't going to compromise by working very hard. You know, I feel that these people are competing for your attention. I think it's effortless. It can be effortless on your part. It's beautiful. So just recapping over the advice, it looks very positive. This last week is beautiful. You're going to have some competition over you for a change. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a shitty way, like for a change, but you know what it feels like to be breadcrumbed. And you've evolved in getting breadcrumbs, sticking by your guns, not willing to compromise. You learned a lot. And so what you're going to find is all of a sudden people want you even more. And you're going to stand back and be like, are you kidding me? Really? Just don't be willing to work. You don't have to work hard, you know, be discerning. You don't have to make a decision. And the cards are also suggesting that you please keep your mouth shut with something that you want to tell one or more people at work or collaborators. You know, you all do different things for work. Some of you guys go to a desk job. Some of you guys actually are hired to do jobs. But this is a collaborative energy. So this is somebody you've been working with. You're going to have a lot more happiness if you just keep some of those words to yourself. So be discerning with your own words too. And then lastly, let something die out. It's going to be the answer to your problems. If your intuition, High Priestess is coming out here, so you are your own guide. The cards don't tell you what to do. They don't tell you your future. You can choose where your life goes. But the cards are saying, you know, here's this intuition. Pay attention to your intuition. Is something just needing to, it's time to let go of something? Is something really at the end? You know, it's like a song you listen to over and over and over again. You finally are like, oh, you know what? I'm going to give myself permission, not listen to Joni Mitchell, the Blue album again on repeat for at least 6 more years. I love you, Joni. Not for 6 years. I'm done. Okay. You guys, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing. I love you, and I'll see you soon for your February readings. Bye.